back. So we're talking about sets. So sets are unchangeable, like I said earlier on, but you can remove items and add new items to sets. So now we use the curly brackets to denote sets in Python. So if you want to create a set in Python, let's say this set is going to be referenced like this, curly braces. Okay, so I'm always going to be working with fruits. I think after this tutorials I'm just going to get some fruits to kill my cravings. So I have banana. Then let's go with pineapple. Craving pineapple too for some reason. Okay, what's happening with me today? So this is how you would go about creating a set. So you could use any data type you want to use. It allows for int, string. It allows you to even permutate them. It allows you to mix up different data types. It works fine. The only thing about sets is that they are unordered. So whenever I print this out to the console, I'm not sure which pattern is going to be presented out to me. Okay, they are unchangeable and they are unindexed. Okay, and point to note, I'm going to give you an example here to show you what I'm trying to say. They do not allow you to duplicate items here. Okay, let's first of all run this. Let's print this out to the console and see. We print this out to the console. We call it this set. Okay, we call it this set and run it. You will see pineapple, apple, and banana. But what will happen if I add apple one more time? Let's see. Will I have an error? I doubt I should have an error. Come on, it should work fine. Sets are friendly. So let's see what happens here. Okay, this is um very funny to see. So I've added apple to the list. I should be seeing pineapple then apple again, but it takes the first instance of apple, and whenever I call apple again, it ignores it because it does not allow for duplicate items. Okay, so no matter the number of times you add another item that is already declared in your set, you don't see it in your console. You see I have the same result here, but on my in my code I have written apple twice. As opposed to tuples and lists, I would have seen that same item duplicated in my console. But sets do not allow for duplicate items. So this is one peculiar difference between lists, tuples, and sets. Okay, so it is unordered, it is unchangeable, it is unindexed, and they do not allow for duplicate items. Okay, so unordered means that the items in a set do not have a defined order. I said that before. I gave you an instance with list that you could use the index to reference the items because they are ordered. So sets items are unchangeable. We cannot change the items after they have been created. Once a set is created, you cannot change the items, but you can remove and add new items. Okay, you cannot change the items, but you can remove and add new items. So this is the properties of a set. So when you're using a set, you need to know these do's and don'ts. If not, you're going to run into a bunch of errors. Like one more thing you need to even know is that for booleans, so if I come here and I say true, I use the true boolean here, and I use 1. Then I come back here, I use the false, and I use, false denotes 0. So if I run this, you find out something interesting here. You see that I'm going to have, you see the order changed. I have apple, banana, pineapple, apple, true, 1, 4, 0. But see the order that comes out. Another example that tells you that, okay, sets are not to be trusted in the order they are presented to you in. They can change at any given time. Okay, so it changes all of a sudden here. So if you expect a particular order in your code, I think you should work with list and tuples to avoid any complication in your code. So you see I have pineapple, I have true, false, but it ignores 1 and 0 because to sets, true and 1 is the same thing and false and 0 is the same thing. So they would ignore the instance of the order. So if I would want to use 1, I would just remove the true from there, and I would be able to work with the one item I want to use. That's the one value I want to use there. Okay, so true and false are considered the same thing in sets, so you always be careful. They are treated as duplicates. Okay, so if you want to get the length of this list, we have that handy method, which is the len method, that lets us know the number of items. The len method is applicable on almost everything. Okay, so we run that, we see 5 items here. So if you're working with a bulky list, you want to quickly get it. So don't forget that it also allows different data types, like you are seeing me use here. You can also manipulate them like I'm using here. The type of method can also be applicable to sets to let you know the type of this thing of data type it is. Okay, so I will just come here and say type. Let me just show you real quick. So I should be expecting to see a type of set, because this is a set. I use the curly braces brackets to denote it, so it references it as a set. So if I run this, I see class set. Okay, so that's the type of operator right there. It shows me the um data type of that variable. Okay, so now how do we access items in a set? It's very, very easy to access items in a set. Let me use let me use a for loop. I will tell you guys about, I'll teach you guys about for loops in the next tutorial. But if I want to like access items in this set real quick, I could just use a for loop. So I could say for x in what's it called, this set, okay, for x in this set, let's print x. Okay, I'm going to explain this shortly to you guys, so don't get confused. I'm just using a for loop for those newbies to the tutorial. For loops are one of the type of loops we have in Python. We have the while loop and the for loop, so you can use it to iterate over sequences like list and tuples and sets and dictionaries, even on strings. So if I run this, I should be seeing all the items in my sets. Clear this up. Clear up tab of clear. Okay, so let's run this and see. So I'm seeing false one, see the other changed again. Okay, apple, banana, items. So this is how I can iterate over items in my list. Okay, this is how I can iterate over items in my list. So I can use the I can use the for loop, or I can use the in. That's there's also another way that is available to us. You could use the in. Okay, let me just show you guys real quick. I could still use this method to check for items present in my loop, in my set. Sorry about that. I could say print print. So I have the in keyword that allows me to check for if a value is available in my set. So I could say, what value am I looking for? I'm looking for apple. So I say, is apple, I should be expecting a boolean return if apple is here or not. So I'm expecting a true or false. So is apple in this set? Is apple here? Yes, clear. Let's run that and see. I get it true because apple is indeed present in the set. So this is another way you can go about to reference to look up items in your set. So we have the in keyword. So I'm just basically saying here that is apple in this set. So it just comes into the set and looks for the first instance of apple, then he references it and tells me it's true, that it's available in the set. So real quick, let me just explain this one here. So for this is the for loop. So the for loop here is telling me x is what I'm using as the counter in the set. So I'm saying, okay, for every item in this set, print it out to me. So if you see that I indented my action inside, because Python is all about indentation. It tells you that this print is an action, is the action that should be carried out for this loop. You understand? So once you find the items, print them out to the console. That's why you have them here. I was supposed to explain that before I went to the in keyword. So Now, about changing items, once a set is created, you cannot change its items. But you can add new items. It's one of the properties of a set. Okay, so don't forget it's unordered, it's unchangeable, it's unindexed, and it does not allow for duplicate members. So once you create a set, you cannot change its items. Okay, you can only add new items to that set. So how do we add new items to the set? So there are a couple of ways we can go about adding a new item to this set here. I could use the add method. So I would say this set dot add. Okay, so what I want to add again, I want to add, what else am I craving? I'm craving an orange. So I'm adding an orange to this, and if I should print out the set now, I would see the new item I added as a member of the set. So I say this set, saving it, clear up the air, and I'm seeing orange in there. Yeah, orange is in there somewhere. Okay, yeah, we have the orange added up here. So that's one way you can add items to a set. So another way you could do it is like you could update a set with another set. Okay, so let's move this extra ones here. We're only dealing with fruits. EP. So if I want to, I can use the update method. Let's say I have another, let's say tropical, yeah. How about a tropical fruit? Yeah. So I have another set. I want to update the previous set with this set. Okay, so this is how I would go about it. I would say I have papaya, yeah, papaya. Let's add one more for the fun of it. Let's add mango, tropical, yeah. So I want to update this set with tropical. I want to add the items of tropical in this set. So I can do this and just say updates. Okay, I call the updates, then I will pass in the new set I want to update the old set with tropical. So when I run that, I should be seeing pineapple, mango, papaya. So that's another way we can go about adding items to a set. Okay, so let's look at how to remove items from a set. So you could always use the remove keyword to remove items. So let's just tweak this, remove, and you would reference the item you want to remove. I want to remove apple. I have apple twice there, but no, okay, yes, sorry about that. You don't get to see this in the results. Let confuse you guys. So I want to remove apple from the results here. So I'm just going to pass it in the remove method. Then if I run this set again, I should only see pineapple and banana. Okay, so that's how you can remove items from a set. Another method is to use the discard. Okay, so I could use the discard to still remove this item. I would say discard like so. Then discards is not a method. Please take notes. Methods are case sensitive. They are keywords, so I cannot use another word to reference a method. So the discard should also do the same trick. It gives me back banana and pineapple. So you just take note that all my results are different. It comes out in different formats. It's just a clear example of how sets work. You don't expect them to bring out the same result because it is unordered. So we have one more way of removing items from a set. We have the pop method. For the pop method, it removes a random item. Okay, so you never can tell what item is going to be removed, but let me show you guys. So I'm just going to run this on the set, and let me clear up my. So when I run this on the sets, it removes the random method. So when I run it, I should be seeing two items, but I don't know what it's going to be. I have apple and pineapple. It took off banana. So that's how it works. So the pop method removes one random item from your lists. Okay. Then you could also apply the clear method on the on the lists, on the set, sorry, if you want to remove the whole entire items in it. So I could just do clear. Clear method should remove all items we have in there. So if I run this, I should have an empty set. Okay, you see I have an empty set here. Then the del keyword also deletes the sets entirely if you want to do that instead. The del keyword is your go-to key. So when I run it, I see I have an error. This set is not defined because it's been deleted already. So those are like a couple of ways you could tweak a set. Okay, so you can use the pop, you can use the clear, you can use the delete to remove items from a set, to remove the set, to clear items from a set, to delete the set entirely, or to remove individual items from a set. These are the ways you could go about it. So the last item we're going to be having on our tutorial is the dictionary, which is the last of the 4 types. So dictionaries are used to store values in key value pairs. Take note of that phrase, key value pairs. So there is a key that is associated to a value in dictionaries, as opposed to the sets, the tuples, and the list that all have their values assigned from the onset. But for dictionaries, you use a key value pair. So a dictionary is a collection of ordered, changeable, and they do not allow duplicates. So now this is the difference between dictionaries and the rest. A dictionary is ordered, changeable, and it doesn't allow. List and tuples allow, dictionaries don't allow. So that's the main difference between list, tuples, and dictionaries. Set is out of the equation because it does not even allow you to change, and it's not even ordered from the onset. Okay, so but as of Python 3.7, like I said before, dictionaries are ordered, but in 3.6 and earlier versions, dictionaries are unordered. Okay, so now we declare sets with curly brackets, just like we did in sorry about that. We declare dictionaries with curly brackets, just like we did in sets, but the only difference is that we use the key value pair methodology to work with to declare dictionary. Let me show you how that's going to look like. So if I want to use a dictionary, I want to declare a dictionary, I just come here. Okay, let's copy and paste there. Okay, so now this dictionary is the variable name. Okay, so now this is the key. The brand is the key, the Ford is the value. That's the key value pair we're talking about in dictionaries. So you use the brand as the key, the Ford is the value. Here again, the model is the key, the Mustang is the value. So if I want to get the value, I would refer to the key. Okay, so if I want to access any item in the dictionary, I would always reference the key, just like a dictionary, your physical dictionary. So the word explains that. If you want to look for the meaning of a word, you just look for that word, then it's been explained after it. Okay, so I think that's the best reference I can give you there. So that's the key to value notation that they're talking about there. So if I should run this, you would see the result in the console as a list, as a dictionary. I don't know why I'm talking about lists today. Okay, so let's run this and see what we have in our console. You see I have brand Ford, model Mustang, year 1964. It comes out in this manner because they are 2 in 1. The key represents the value. So whenever I want to get, okay, now I want to get the model of this. Let's just take this as a car company, Ford, and the model Mustang. If I want to print out the model, I would just simply reference it like this. I say the print, then I say this dictionary. So now it's almost similar to lists and tuples. We use the square brackets, but I'm going to reference the brand or the model or the year, as the case may be, if I want to get one of those values, as opposed to using the index in other collections like the list and the tuple. So I want to get the model, I want to get the Mustang out of there, so I will just use this method and say model. So when I print to the console, I should be seeing Mustang. I'm not going to see the model, I'm going to see the value, which is Mustang. Okay, so that's how it works. If I want to access items like that, that's how I go with it. So now for the changing, dictionaries are changeable, so we can add and remove, unlike unlike tuples that once you declare, you have to convert it to a list before you can change the values. So the next thing I want to show you guys is how we could go about getting the values out. So you can use this method to get the model out, or you can use the get method. The get method still gets you the model and print it out to the console if you want to use. If you want to, the get method is going to look like this. You have the get method like let's say let's clear this up and just use it here. I say I would print. So the get method, you just call the get method on the variable name and pass in the key you want to get. So I want to say this dictionary that's gets. So what's it gonna get for me? It's gonna get me the year. Get me the year. Let's see how that's gonna come out. Okay. So if I run this, I should be getting the year 1964. So I could use this method to access items. Sorry about that. To access items in the dictionary, or I could use the get method. Okay. So if I want to get now the entire keys, I just want to get the whole keys um in the dictionary. I don't want to get nothing more, just the keys or the values. There are two ways I can go about it. Okay. So I could say dot keys. That method gives me the entire keys I have in a dictionary, or I could use the dot value to get the entire values I have in the dictionary. If I just want to quickly know what variables are available to me in the dictionary, so I will just pass it in like this. I could say let's go to a new line. Say print. Let's say this dictionary dot keys. Okay. So this should give me the entire keys I have in the value in the dictionary alone. I run this, I see keys, brand, model, and year. Okay, so if I want to know the values that are assigned to these keys all together, only the values, I could still do the same thing. Let's just change this to values. Okay, save it up. Let's run it. So on the next line, I'm seeing just what the values: Ford, Mustang, and year. So these are ways you could just like play around with a dictionary. So next, let's see how we can change the items in the dictionary. So I want to change the year of the Ford Mustang to 2018, for instance, or 2022. Or let's even use this year. I want to change the value of the year. I would just use this dictionary. I would reference the item with this method. I'm going to use this method here. I'm going to use this method model. No, we're going to change the year, not the model. Let's say the year is equals to 2018. So when I call back this dictionary, I should be getting the new year. Let's just do 20. It's not our year. Let's use 2023. Okay, so let's use this. And that's when I print this back to the console, I should be getting the new year 2023 year. So this is how I can change the value in a set. Okay, so I can still use there are various ways I could go about this, or I could still use the update method. The update method just gives me the same attributes that the same method I'm looking for here that I use in the first line. Sorry about that. I could just use pass this here and say this the updates. I change the year to 2020 instead here. So you see this dot update here is another way. This method avails me the power to change the year to 2020 also. So that's one way I can still go about changing the year. So if I run it, I should see 2020 here. See, I changed it from 2023 to 2020. So that's one way. Let me clear up other items here to keep it clean. Okay. Then clear this up. Clear. Then let's run it. Yeah, so 2020 as expected. So that we have seen how to access change. How do we add items now to this dictionary? So if I want to add an item, I must declare the key of the item, then the value. Okay, let's say, okay, what color is this for? This color is red. So let's say I want to add a key and value pair to this dictionary that has already been created. I would just go with this method. So this is the key color, then the value red. Okay, so now I'm adding color red, key and value to the dictionary. So this is the method I can use one of other ways. So when I roll this in, I see the new key and value added. So I can still use the updates approach to add items um to this dictionary. So the update approach, if the value is not there, if the value I'm trying to update is not there, like the way I used it in the last um exercise, if it's not there, it will add it automatically for me. So if what I'm trying to update is not present, it will add it there for me. So I'm just trying to add in I'm trying to add, what should I add? What am I gonna add? Type, car type, yeah. Let's say type, type, type. Then we say it's a Jeep, yeah. And let's save it. Then let's run it. Print this again. I'm having type Jeep, SUV, salon, stuff like that. So this is how I can go about adding items to a dictionary. So if I want to remove, I still have the pop, I have the delete keyword, and I have declare. I have all those methods like I showed you in the last clip on how to add and how to delete items from a collection. So that same method is available to me here, but it's direct. Like on the sets, the pop method randomly removes an item without without telling you what actual item is removed from the set. But on dictionaries, if I use the dix pop on it, it gives me the ability to decide what item do I want to remove using the key. Okay, so I want to remove the, what do I need? Okay, I don't need a type anymore. I want to remove the type from this. Oh no, but I just added that. Let me remove the year. I want to remove the year instead. I want to remove the year. So I save that up. Then when I run this, I should not be seeing the year in there anymore. So you see I have the brand, the model, skip the year, I have the color and the type. So the pop method allows me to remove items from the list, from the dictionary. Sorry about that. So if I want to remove, I still have another method, but this method is it's more of another approach if you're trying to remove the last item you just added to the list. So the pop item removes the most inserted item, the most recent item that has been added to this list. So in this case, what do you think is going to be removed from this? What's the most recent item? If you're thinking what I'm thinking and you're correct, type is the most recent item we added to the dictionary. So this pop item removes the most recent item added to the dictionary. That's what it does there. Then for the pop, you remove the actual item you're gunning for. So we have the del keyword. The del keyword removes the item also. So the del keyword could be used on, I want to use the del keyword on the model to give you guys an example. So I want to do this, clear this up. Yeah. Okay, so if I run it again, I'm seeing that I only have two items now, the brand and the color. Okay, take note, the del is very powerful. You can delete any collection type. So if I run the del keyword on this variable name, it takes it off profile. So if I run this up, you see I have this disk is not defined. So be very, very careful on when you are using the del keyword. you have to be sure that you want to remove that variable completely. You understand? But I would advise, if you're going to remove it, just remove it from the onset, or better still, be on the safe side and clear it up so you don't have complications moving on. So you could just use the dot clear method on that variable, and boom, your dictionary is empty. Now you have an empty list, the empty dictionary there. I don't know why I've been saying dictionaries. I have been calling, what's it called? I have been calling dictionaries list for the better part of this tutorial. So that's how you could go about it. So now one more thing I want to show you guys is how to copy a list to another list. Okay, so we have one method here. Like in order what am I saying tutorial for? In other collection types, you could just add them with the concatenate operator, the plus sign. But for let's say I want to copy this dictionary to a new dictionary. Okay, I want to copy this dictionary, this dict, to my new dictionary, my dict. I could just come here and use this approach. My dict is equals to this dict dot copy. So this method allows me to copy the initial dictionary and drop it in. So if you do this, let me just bring it out there. If you do this, you are not basically copying the value. Do you understand? Okay, let me give you guys an instance. Let me clear this up. See, there's a difference between this and what I showed you earlier on. See, if I run this now, I'm seeing that the values Ford, model, and Mustang is in my dictionary as expected. But look at this now. If I change a value here, it is going to change the value in my dictionary for one. I don't want that. I want it to just copy and give me a different instance. But using the equal operator, these both dictionaries are going to reference the same position of these items in your memory. So you don't want that. You want different instances of it, yeah? So you have to run the dot copy method on the um dictionary and have a different instance of that dictionary. So once I remove this, okay, let me run this first so you see what I'm talking about. When I run this first, so if I change the value here, it is not going to affect my new dictionary because it has been copied already. Okay, so let me run it on two different instances so you would see what I'm talking about. You see that my dictionary here changes value because it's still copied to the initial one. But if I run them on two different um, scopes, you see that the result is different. I'm coming 1 minute. Let me change the item on this one. Let's say I want to change the brand. I say this dict dot um this dict dot sorry, use square brand. Change the brand to, let's use Toyota. Just trying to give you guys the clear difference between dot copy and using the assignment operator, which is the equal to here, what they do. So now I'm changing the brand to Mustang. So to show you that this one has no association with this dictionary anymore after it's being copied, I would see that when I run this my dict, my own brand will still remain as Ford. Okay, so when I run that here, my brand still remains as Ford, as opposed to having, let's produce this one back, and you see that they have different brands now. The brand here is Toyota, the brand on my own dictionary is Ford. That's because as I have copied it, I have created my own instance of this dictionary, and whatever is being changed here now is no longer going to be my own result because I have two different instances. So that's the difference between the dot copy and the assignment operator. So always take note that whenever you want to copy, you use the dot copy method to avoid having a duplicate of the same position of the dictionary. Okay, so now we can have nested lists. So let's say I want to have like a family kind of dictionary. I want to have a family of the first child, the second child, and third child. You can nest your lists. Okay, so if you want to nest your list, it's just going to be a list, a dictionary of dictionaries. I'm sorry about that. You're going to nest your dictionary. Okay, it's going to be a dictionary of dictionaries. For instance, I want to nest. Okay, look at this now. This is my family. That's the variable of the dictionary. So the variable has what? Child. This is the primary key here. Okay, so it's nested of another key, name and year. I have the same thing here, another key. I have another nested dictionary in it. This is a nested dictionary. So if I want to access items in the dictionary, I just have to reference those two dictionaries in the dictionary to be able to print out a particular item. Okay, for instance, I want to get out this child 2. I want to get out child 2 name, Tobias. If I want to get that out, I'm just going to reference it like this. I have my family, which is the name of the first dictionary primarily. Then now the first set inside the dictionary is child 2. That's this. Now the name nested there is what I'm going to look for. Name. If I want the year, let me even use year. I could still say year. I should be getting the year of Tobias. Okay. So when I run into I see 2007. So this is how you would reference items in a nested dictionary. So I've showed you guys how to copy dictionaries, how to remove items, how to add, change, and access items on a dictionary. So this is all for data types in Python. So next we're going to be looking at if statements, while loops, and for loops in Python. See you guys there.